Hi, my name is Tanner Hayes, and I'm a fourth-year PhD candidate at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and I work with Dr. Toby Lee in the Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology. My research mainly focuses on trying to investigate the surface composition of Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter. The last satellites that we sent out to explore Jupiter and to explore the Jovian system collected a lot of data that suggested that beneath Europa's icy surface there is a global subsurface ocean that has twice or 3 times as much water as what we have in our own oceans here on Earth. Earth is the only place we know of in the universe where life exists, and on Earth, water seems to be a key ingredient for life to start and thrive and to persist. So Europa having this much water and also being in our own backyard, that is the solar system, makes it one of the most ideal places to try and search for otherworldly life. Europa's surface is very unique and has a lot of interesting surface features all across it that are thought to have formed partly because of interactions between the surface and the subsurface ocean. So by studying the composition of Europa's surface and the composition of all these features, we're hoping to learn something about the composition of the subsurface ocean and therefore something about the habitability of the subsurface ocean. I use a technique called spectroscopy to learn about Europa's surface, which is effectively using how light interacts with something to figure out what that thing is made out of. Light is absorbed differently depending on the material it interacts with, so you can use it to compositionally fingerprint something without actually having to be on the surface or actually having to have that thing with you. So I make mixtures of ices, mixtures of salts and acids and other things that we think could be on Europa's surface in the laboratory, and I take the spectra of those materials and I compare those to the spectra of Europa's surface that were collected back in the late 90s and the early 2000s by the Galileo mission to try and help narrow down the list of materials that could be on Europa's surface, but also to try and say something about the sources of those materials. So potentially if they're sourced exogenically by things like meteorite impacts or by interactions with Jupiter's intense radiation environment, or instead if they're sourced endogenically or internally due to things like the subsurface ocean. I want to thank the ARCS Foundation for the Toby Lee ARCS Award in Earth Sciences. This award will primarily be used to enable me to attend this year's Division for Planetary Science Conference in Finland. I'm hoping to continue studying not just Europa, but Jupiter's other moons as well, like Io, Ganymede, and Callisto, after I graduate with my PhD. And attending this conference not only will help me get my work out there, but will facilitate making the connections needed for trying to find postdocs when I graduate. This year's DPS conference is also jointly held with the European Planetary Science Conference, which is another large planetary science conference. So it makes the ability to attend this event especially valuable in terms of professional development. Thank you so much.